Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC-Mura here, and in today's video we have a viewer replay analysis. This is a Chun-Li vs Ryu matchup. The replay was provided to us by HapZungLam. I believe that's how you pronounce your name. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. But yeah, we have today Chun-Li versus Ryu. Now this is a classic matchup, of course. It's been in the game since the first beta. It goes up and down on who has the advantage. I do think Chun-Li probably have a slight edge, but I don't think it's anything more than 5.5, honestly. I do think Ryu have a good set of tools to fight Chun-Li. Of course, Chun-Li is one of the strongest characters this season, and Ryu's kinda, how Ryu has been in the past couple of years, but still I think he does well in this matchup. Typically speaking, this matchup is gonna be played from this range a lot, and what's gonna happen is Ryu is gonna dictate the pace. I think Ryu is in control of this matchup until he gets in the corner. So what you want to do as Chun-Li is you want to get him to the corner. Once he have nowhere to go, then you can really out-footsie him hard. But as long as he have space to walk back, he does have a good ways to either surprise you by going forward or, disrupt you in the mid-range with his fireballs and stuff like that. So let's see how it goes. So of course, as you were saying, the characters are playing from this range. I am noticing that Ryu is throwing a lot of mediums, which, implies something to me, but I want to make sure. Let's keep going. Yeah, I don't like the jump. I don't like this fireball. So let's go from the beginning. So Ryu did a crouching medium. He's doing crouching medium. Okay, so let's explain what's going on here and allow me to show you this next clip. So as we saw, it's kind of a rock, paper, scissors situation. The heavy kick will beat the fireball, but it will lose to his crouching medium. But you have to use your back heavy punch to beat his normals. And the back heavy punch is one of Chun-Li's best tools, but it's also one of the tools that are not used by many of the up-and-coming Chun players. It's kind of slept on, to be honest. That move is ridiculous because it is very active and have very fast start on, and the hurt box is amazing. So if you're playing Chun-Li and your opponent is button Z, generally speaking, Chun-Li you want to be pressing buttons, right? But if you notice that your opponent is swinging back a lot, back heavy punch is your way to go. So let's keep going here. This is the first fireball. He tried to parry it. Yeah, I don't like throwing a lot of fireballs here. The Ryu is not throwing a lot of fireballs, so Chun-Li throwing fireballs is putting yourself at too much risk. It's kinda unnecessary, to be honest. This is just a classic. He whiffed a solar plexus. Of course, you tried to whiff punish. You got swept instead. Yeah, it's whatever. What happened here? I wonder what you actually tried to do. I think he tried to jump on wake up, but there's no need to do that. Honestly, Ryu's Oki is not that threatening. He's not that threatening point blank, anyways. Okay, so this is something I have to talk about. Again, I feel like it is something that makes a big difference between high level players and the up and coming players, and it is when you decide to make a decision, you have to fully commit to it. If you are going to wake up jab or wake up light attack in general, you have to go for the conversion. If you're gonna wake up jab, you already are taking the risk, so you have to get the reward. If you are waking up with a light, you'll have to go for the combo. So here you could have done a crouching light kick, crouching light punch into spinning bird kick, or just do the crouching light kick into EX legs. Really anything just to equate the risk reward, because you're already taking the risk, but you got nothing out of it. So let's keep going. This was plus. Again, or something like that, you could have went for an EX leg. Chun-Li is one of the fortunate characters that you have a light that can go into EX legs, which is safe anyways, so I certainly would have went for an EX leg or at least a light kick into legs into V-trigger activation, something to push your advantage, but let's see. Yeah. Again, if you notice, Ryu is not throwing a lot of fireballs, he is throwing a lot of normal to preemptively beat your stuff. And that's why, like I said earlier, the back heavy punch would have made a ton of difference in this situation. Another thing I kinda want to touch on is when you're playing as Chun-Li, and this is something specific to Chun-Li, and I will say V-Trigger 1 especially, always try to go for the V-Trigger cancel on hit. You are in a much better situation when you are activating V-Trigger on hit with Chun-Li, because on block you don't really get much, especially if something like standing heavy punch, you're not getting really plus frames, so I would have wanted to see you like try to hit confirm that. On hit you get a good combo into knockdown, etc, etc, etc. Nice anti-air. This is unfortunate. Like as you can see, because the V-Trigger was activated on block, we didn't get anything out of it. The V-Trigger was pretty much wasted. I honestly would like to use V-Trigger 2 versus Ryu. I don't think V-Trigger 1 is the choice here, but let's see how it goes. Yeah. Now he's throwing fireballs. This was a missed fireball, I believe. Maybe you could have gotten at least a throw here. But yeah, we got the throw anyways. So I like the idea of this, but this is not a... I like the idea of this. I like the idea. Shame it didn't work out, but I like the idea. So I think you could have interrupted there, but he could have kept with the parry, which was kind of dangerous. But I do like the idea of the forward heavy kick after the throw. I actually really like that. Yeah, the crouching heavy punch is the same as the crouching medium punch. He is trying to stuff your heavy normals. He is buffering these. If you look at his inputs, Ryu is doing the crouching heavy, and he's buffering a... I believe that's he's going for a donkey kick. So he's trying to whiff punish you, or let's just say he's trying to catch your extended hurt box by a normal into the donkey kick and probably a super after that. So again, a back heavy punch. For something like the crouching heavy, you can whiff punishes, but for the mediums, you will need to use a move like the back heavy punch. Again, I don't really like the use of fireballs here, because he's not using his fireballs either. You could maybe use the EX, but for the regular, it's way too much risk. Like, you're taking such a big risk, especially since the guy is jumpy. So his main strategy, the one that I'm seeing, is he's going to jump a lot, and he's throwing a lot of normals to beat your, you know, basically to eat your heavies, right? So versus a player like that, I would do a lot of back heavy punch, and I would throw maybe an EX fireball as a shield, but I don't like throwing normal fireballs. It's way too much risk and the reward is not there. Yeah, again, like that's his main game plan. Back heavy punch would have made a big difference here. Generally speaking, don't wake up jab after Ryu's Tatsu, because he is in such a great Oki situation. If he got a knockdown from Tatsu, he is in a really good Oki situation. So I don't like waking up with normals here. Yeah, I think that's a really bad idea. And he's got a really good combo out of that. So generally speaking, when you're fighting versus Ryu, don't like the Tatsu is his best Oki ender. Like it's the best Oki ender he can possibly get. So going for wake up jab here, that's really not a good idea. After maybe a dragon punch, yeah. After maybe a donkey kick, yeah. But after a Tatsu, never go for that. Never go for wake up jab at this situation. Nice whiff punish and nice V-trigger cancel. Like, yeah, that's what we wanted. We wanted to activate on hit. You got the whiff punish, you got the V-trigger activation. This is really good now. Nice. So I would have preferred that you went with the low option first, and the idea is when you go for the low first, you're still keeping your pressure. When you go for the overhead, you are ending your pressure pretty much instantly. And this jump could have been anti-aired. You could have anti-aired with back heavy punch and back heavy kick, and you would have gotten a gigantic follow-up here. So let's keep going. Yeah, like that's what I was saying earlier. I would like you to use the EX fireballs as a shield to get in, but the lights or mediums, way too much risk, no reward. The EX, at least the risk is worth the reward. So I like going there. And this situation happened in the first round, but here you adapted and you kept going, which punished his parry attempt, so really good work on that. Good punish. Again, one of the defining aspects of Chun-Li's V-Trigger one is if when you double dash standing light punch, you are covering both wake-ups. So it's certainly something that you should go for, and here you would have gotten the meaty. What I mean by that is, typically speaking, when you want to pressure your opponents on wake up, it's always good to go for lights first because you are at least maintaining the throw game. When you go for an overhead or an EX legs, you went twice now with a V-trigger. You went with options that instantly end your pressure if blocked. The two options are -2, so if they got blocked, you lost your turn. And since you have V-trigger, you want to keep the advantage because now your conversion really matter. So I think in situations like this, and generally speaking, always try to meet you with lights when you have V-trigger because you will get good conversions and you will maintain your pressure. And that's really important. So let's keep going here. Yeah, this is a failed air legs. That's fine. I like that you actually didn't try to whiff punish here. You adapted to what he did before because he did the same exact thing. He did the forward head solar plexus and then try to whiff punish your attempt to whiff punish him. So good on you there, that's really well played. Yeah. Again, it's the jumps. So I believe these are 3 or 4 jumps this match, like 3 or 4 fireball. Maybe you did like 10 fireballs total and half of them got jumped. So yeah, no, it's kind of not worth it at this point. Yeah, that could have gotten anti-air as well. When your opponent is jumping from this close and you're playing Chun-Li, you should always back heavy kick. Standing light kick will not anti-air from this angle. Kind of fortunate that this worked, but you had basically. I like it. You had no health, so I do kind of understand what you did there, and it worked out. Go for this throw, nice. The issue now is the threat of the EX fireballs. The EX fireball from Ryu is gonna be an issue. It's unreactable from the range you're playing at, and it's really, really dangerous. And there you go. You did your EX as well, but his EX fireball is really, really good from that spacing. So I think this is a really good replay. I think there are 3 main things that I noticed here. Number 1, in the neutral, the rock paper scissor interaction, he was working a lot on trying to stuff your normals, and you were not having good answers to them. And like I said, back heavy punch is really, really strong. Whiff punishing with standing heavy punch or back medium punch is decent if he's whiffing heavies, right? And that's number 1. Number 2, when you're in V-trigger, go for the plus options. Don't go for the options that would end your turn immediately. So go for the crouching light kick, crouching light punch, standing medium punch. Go for the options that will maintain your turn for a little bit. At least don't go for the crazy read option all the time. And the third issue is when you decide to take a risk, like wake up jab, like throw a fireball, you want to take the maximum amount of reward. So if you're waking up with a risk like a jab, go for the counter hit combo, and it really makes a ton of difference. It's probably one of the bigger factors, or one of the bigger differences between high level play and intermediate, is that high level players don't leave anything on the table. They're not gonna take a risk if they know that it's not worth it. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, or share. I hope it was really useful. I think this is actually a really insightful replay. There is not any critical mistakes that you did. It's all really small stuff that can be adjusted manually. And I really hope you find it useful, and I really hope the viewers find it useful. If you enjoyed this video, again, please leave a like, sub, or share. It will really help. Thank you for watching, and stay safe.